All right, we are live. Welcome back to another episode of Crypto Miner Tips. Today, you guys, I got a special guest that we're going to be interviewing on the channel here, Chase Reiner. He is a good friend of mine that I've met through the marketing community, and he's all about. I've been following Chase for a while now, and he's all about different ways about making money online. And he recently started researching cryptocurrency. As you guys know, cryptocurrency is a big buzz right now. And so he started researching different ways to make money in cryptocurrency, and he landed on cryptocurrency mining. And he's been, starting to set up some computers at home, currently making $50 a day with just some regular old gaming PCs that he bought off Facebook Marketplace. Anyways, folks, Chase Reiner. And Chase, with that said, what happened, man? What influenced you to get into mining real quick? I'm curious to know. I want to get that question out there. So
totally. Yeah. So, I mean, first of all, it was kind of just like a hobby thing. I was seeing all these Facebook posts coming up on my personal profile and some of my groups, and in your group, because I joined your group. By the way, anybody who wants to join Dustin's group, you should check it out. It's a great community. He drops a ton of knowledge about crypto. And I was like, dude, all these people are talking about this. I wonder if it's worth getting into. And I was just thinking about it from a hobby standpoint. I didn't know how much money I could make. Just wanted to figure out something that might work.
Right.
And so I started doing some research. And I'm like, you know what? Back when I first started doing crypto, I was like, because I did it about 4 years ago. And I remember how complicated it was. I had to set up like this pool and try to connect to a bunch of people, and I had to configure all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, this is crazy. So I felt a little intimidated by it. And especially when I look at kind of what Dustin, it's like there's people out there like you that are just super like geared towards, understanding this stuff. And I never really felt like I totally understood it. So I kind of put it off because I'm like, I don't think it's for me. It's for all the people that are super, technical and whatever. So anyways, I just had so many people talking about it, and I'm sure, you and everybody who's watching right now, it's probably the same way. You're scrolling through Facebook, you're scrolling through social media, maybe your friend texts you, and it's like, oh, dude, like, have you seen the new Dogecoin or something? And it's like, dude, I got to figure something out here. I got to figure out why everybody's talking about this. So anyways, I started doing some research, and I stumbled upon this tool called Kryptex. And what Kryptex does, most of you guys probably already know what this is, but if you don't know what it is, it's a mining tool that it's really easy. It's just plug and play. And by the way, if you want to check it out, Dustin and I put a free link to it. You can get it completely free. And if you want to support the channel, go to the link in the description, go check it out. It's a really good tool for beginners. Yeah. And anyways, so I found this tool, and I installed it on my computer, and I remember I opened it up, and I'm like, dude, what the heck? It's just running. Like, I didn't even have to do anything. I thought I was going to have to configure some file or do something crazy. And it said I was making like $4 or $5 a day. And I'm like, whoa. And so I started thinking, I'm like, well, what if I had a bunch of computers? And so I started going on Facebook Marketplace, and this is when I actually contacted you, Dustin. I'm like, hey, man, could I start making a bunch of money with this? Yeah. And you're like, well, there's definitely some stuff you should know about it, which I think, obviously you're going to tell us about today. But, I realized, I'm like, well, gosh, I could actually make money doing this. And if I can scale it, I could make more. I could just have all these computers running. And so I went on Facebook Marketplace, and I started seeing like, what is the actual price of the average, computer to mine with. And I've been finding that the computers have been ranging anywhere between about $700 to about, $1,200 on Marketplace. And for each computer, I've found, they can generally pull about, well, at the time when I first got into it, was about $4 or $5 a day. Now, what's really crazy though, is lately, and I'll do a screen share at some point, but if you look at, or here, I'll just share it really quick.
Share your screen real quick. And Chase, and just so you guys know, Chase has been able to find some pretty sweet deals. Like, honestly, I didn't have a whole lot of hopes for him when he first brought this to my attention. I was like, listen, you're not going to find any GPUs, but I'm not going to reveal where he's at in the United States. He's somewhere in the United States, right? But he's been able to find these deals on these like unicorn deals on Facebook Marketplace. And folks, if you're getting into this, right? If you're getting into this and you don't have a lot of hope, the one thing you have to realize is with the way that the world's changing every single day now, there's a lot of people that are struggling for money, right? And what I found out through Chase's adventure through this is there's still a lot of people out there that are willing to sell their gaming rig. They need extra cash. Maybe they've been on unemployment or something like that. Stimulus money's ran out, right? And so there is people out there that are willing to let go of their hardware. You just have to be able to reach out to them. And my old saying is, mama said it don't hurt to ask, right? Like, ask them if you can get a better deal on it, right? Just because they have it listed at 1,100, maybe they're just going with the herd, right? And I'm sure, Chase, you got some deals on it and stuff like that. So looks like right here, you're making about
so this computer
per month on that one rig, and that's a 1080 Ti.
And on top of that, Dustin, you can see here it's running 28 mega hashes, which, by the way, you know, that's not very high.
No, we can squeeze more out of that for sure. We should overclock that. And before we get into that, I wanted to let you guys know that we do offer a masterclass for mining, passive income strategies and stuff like that, where we're going to be teaching a lot more of this stuff in a classroom environment. There should be a link down in the description for it. We're actually going to be having a 1-hour Zoom class today going over cryptocurrencies, cryptocurrency investing and stuff like that. So if you're brand new to this space and you want answers to your questions, make sure that you sign up. You can try it out for $1 for 7 days, and you know you're going to get a lot of value out of that. So, anyways, back to this.
Well, and that's what I wanted to bring up too. For those of you who don't know, you know, Dustin has this class that he's running. It's only $1, and it's actually today. So if you want to get in, now is really the time to do it. But he basically goes in and he coaches. He's the one that actually told me what a mega hash was. I didn't even know what it was. But apparently the way it works, and this is the way I understand it, tell me if I'm butchering it, Dustin, but you know, you're trying to up your mega hashes so that you can basically decode more coins in a way.
It's kind of like you know, like a speedometer on a car. The higher you can get your hash rate up. Now, obviously, there's limits to this, right? Like this card, maybe, you know, I've seen these 1080 Ti's top out at somewhere between 40 and in some rare cases, I've seen it as high as 55 mega hashes. Now, I personally have never been able to get a 1080 Ti to 55 mega hashes. Maybe I had the wrong model, but you know, the higher the hash rate, the faster you can mine, the more coin, the higher the yield you get. So in essence, the more money you can make with that. So yeah, you were spot on with that.
But what I wanted to say is that, so after Dustin actually helped me optimize this, because I can't run this right now because it'll make this fan super loud. I had to turn it off. But there's special programs that you can actually run that will, you know, he was able to take what I'm making here, $9 a day. And when I run the stuff that he showed me, I can make up to like $14 a day with my 1080 Ti.
Well, and it's not only about increasing the hash rate too, right? We're going to lower the power consumption so that it gets a higher hash rate, but it uses less electricity, which in turn will increase your bottom line on this significantly, right? And then Tech for Beginners says, if we can't attend, can we replay it later? Of course. Chase is going to record all the videos. He publishes them in the Facebook, the Elites group. So yes, you can, if you miss it, you can go back and watch it later for sure.
But so again, before we kind of go into what you were going to tell us about, Dustin, about maybe like optimizing this and making money doing crypto, because the cool thing with the group is that we're not just talking about, you know, mining. We're actually going into all the different ways of monetizing with crypto. But what I wanted to talk about is, you know, this program, when I found out about it, you know, again, I thought it was going to be super complicated. It wasn't. I just turned it on and it's running in the background. And so what happened is I was like, okay, I'm going to go to Facebook Marketplace. I'm going to start looking for some deals. And really all I did, I mean, you guys might be thinking, well, you know, gosh, I don't really have time to go on Facebook Marketplace. It takes like 2 seconds a day. All I do is I just type in Marketplace on Facebook, right? Just type.
You don't even have to do that. You can set alerts. So when something new comes in stock with the keyword, like say you put in their 2080 graphics card, when somebody lists a new one, it'll send you a notification. Hey, so-and-so in your area just listed it. You don't have to sit here on there all day long staring at this thing. Look at you, Pokemon cards.
Yeah, I also
Agree.
really like Pokemon. So if you guys if you're into that as well, let me know. I'd love to see some.
Chase has a rare unopened box of Pokemon cards. I told him he's been debating selling it for Bitcoin. You got, by the way, question for the group. If you guys think, here's the question: should Chase sell his Pokemon cards and buy Bitcoin, or should he hodl or hold on for dear life to his Pokemon cards? You guys let me know in the comments.
One's if you think I should sell, two if you think I shouldn't. But anyway,
I don't know, man. It's a tough decision because I think some of those boxes, anyways, they're going for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, so I'll show you. So all I do, and I do this when I wake up in the morning, or when I'm chilling with my girlfriend, and I'm just on the couch. I'll just type in on here. I'll say computers, right? That's it. And again, what you'll end up finding, what I found is I was really shocked by this because I thought, God, everybody's going to be selling these computers for so much right now.
Wait a minute. There's people that just listed them as regular computers and not gaming computers. So that might be the reason why there's so many of them available, because people are, a lot of these miners are typing in 3060 Ti, 3090. They're not typing in computer. They're just typing in a specific graphics card.
And that's why it's funny, because I think a lot of these people, they're just trying to get some money. And it's really good if you do this towards the end of the month, because a lot of people are trying to pay rent. They don't have money because of the coronavirus. And so they don't have a work. They can't show up to their job. So right now is really actually a pretty good time. If you look at all of the prices of the graphics cards, they're usually like more than what somebody will be selling the entire computer for. It's crazy. Yeah. Like I don't think people realize how much their graphics cards are actually worth right now.
You bought a gaming PC for $1,000 with a 2080, and that 2080 standalone on eBay was selling for like $1,400. But you bought the gaming PC with the card in it for like $1,000, and I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? He should not be able to do this right now. Like, this should not be happening. But you proved me wrong, So like I said,
yeah,
you can see the 3070s right there. They probably want an arm and a leg and a chicken for them when you scroll down. Right there it is. It says GeForce right there.
Well, and you'll see the thing that's annoying about Facebook Marketplace is that a lot of the stuff is actually sponsored. So you can see it says ships to you.
If you go to delivery method up there, and
they still do it though. They make you they still make you look at it.
Do local pickup.
Oh, sorry. Look, they'll still be the sponsored ships to you every now and then. Look, so sponsored.
They do sneak it in there.
So you got to be careful, because sometimes you'll be like, wow, that's a good deal, but it's some, sketchy offer that's just from an ad. So try to stick to the ones that, that don't have the sponsored thing on them. But I would just
the other thing I will say too, Chase, is that if you guys do go down this path, you should be picking secure places to meet up, such as a police station or some public place that has cameras, because that's going to put a lot of this. If they are a scammer or a potential scammer that's going to steal your money, they're not going to meet you at the police station, right? If they're a legit person, they will meet you somewhere that's secure, right? And if they're not willing to, or if it says something sketchy in the description, it's probably an out-of-town scammer. So you shouldn't face that issue, but it can happen. Right?
And what I do is I actually will ask him to FaceTime me first, and I say, hey, I want to make sure that this computer works, because I don't want to go spend all my time, going over there, negotiating, bringing the computer back only to see that it doesn't work for more than a couple minutes. So I actually FaceTime them and say, hey, will you click on this for me? Will you open up Kryptex? Will you do these different things? So that way I know that the computer is good to go. And that the person isn't some sketchy person. I want to make sure that, with anybody that I do business with, I don't want to feel like I'm like hostile towards that person. So I think it's just a good idea to make sure you just ask them for a quick FaceTime call, get on video with them for a couple minutes and make sure they're cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you can feel them out by, FaceTime and stuff like that, and kind of get a feel for whether that person is going to be, not only a legit person, but kind of like, see if you can see past them. And if their house looks clean and organized, then there's a good chance they took in really good care of that stuff. So but yeah,
I want to finish though the story really quick, because where I'm at now. So what I did is, you can't see because I have the camera set up a certain way, but I have, this computer, this has a 1080 Ti. This one has a 2060. The other one, I think, has another 1080 Ti hybrid. And so I got about 4 computers. I spent, I think, a total of, well, I already had mine. So I bought 3 computers total. I think I spent a total of around $3,000, but I'm making about $50 a day. And if you do the math on that, I think it's only going to take let's actually just plug this into our
And you do
calculator.
have to factor in your electricity cost into that, right? Your
Yeah,
bottom line.
And everybody asks this. They go, well, isn't your electricity super expensive? But it's not. I think for every day that I run these, for every $12 or $14 I'm making, I think I'm spending like $2.
Totally worth it. And that's the thing too. The other thing that I've kind of been coaching Chase on is really look at this. Like, sure, could he sell that cryptocurrency now and shove that money in his pocket? Absolutely, he could. And he should at least cash out enough towards the end of this bull run to pay for the hardware, get his seed money back out of it, but then just keep on mining through like the bear market and stuff like that, because the cryptocurrency that he mines today, and you can ask any old time miner that sold their crypto back in the day, right? There's tons of regrets about selling your cryptocurrency too early, but the cryptocurrency he mines today, if he hangs on to that for another 4 years, he's going to have a nice little, investment, egg sitting there. Right. So like,
well, and I figure
it like that, get crit. The only reason I say that is because some people, I don't want them to look at this as a get rich overnight kind of scheme. Right.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of like how I went into it too, Dustin, because I think a lot of people, what they'll end up saying is like, well, I don't think you're going to make a ton of money with this right now. And I'm not in it for right now. I'm in it for getting all this stuff mined and it inflating 5 times the price. Because if I look at it as a long-term play and I'm making $50 a day, that could actually be, $200 to $300 a day when you count in the inflation over the next couple years.
Exactly. Look at the Pokemon cards that you've how long have you held on to those? You probably bought that box for $20, right? Now it's worth
20,000.
Yeah, or some ridiculous amount of money. So like, it just, investing is a long-term strategy. I mean, if you talk to anybody, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, any of these big investors, right? It's a long-term play. So.
I will say though that, if you look at the prices right now, I spent $3,000. I'm making $50 a day. That's 60 days to make my money back. And the other cool thing is that even if I just made my money back and I got the, $3,000 back, I now have the computers that I can sell for thousands. I could resell them, because a lot of the time people don't even realize. And that's the cool thing about your group too, Dustin, that, you could probably start taking some of these computers, make the money back, go into a crypto group and say, yeah, I have a 1080 Ti. Do you want to buy it? And you could actually resell it for more than you bought it for in your local area.
Well, and that's exactly what I did. When I got into mining late 2016, I bought a bunch of hardware, mined with it all the way through 2017, caught some of the bull run there. And then obviously we went through the bear market, the Great Depression of Bitcoin, where it went all the way from 20,000 down to 3,000, right? But I didn't sell. I held on to the hardware. And, a lot of people don't understand this. There's so much impatient money in the market, but I was just waiting and waiting and waiting for the price to go back up. And then I was able to sell that 4-year-old hardware for more money than what I bought it for brand new in 2016 or 2017. So essentially all that cryptocurrency that I mined in between, if I got my money back, was, minus my electricity costs, it was house money at that point. So I'm in 100% profit, and I've set myself up for success for the next 4 years of cryptocurrency mining. So but that's another story anyways. So do you want to, are we able to overclock that GPU while you're streaming, or will that ruin your stream, you think? Are you mining right now on that?
It's mining right now with just the GPU. So I think we probably are fine doing it. I mean, I have the MSI Afterburner, which maybe we should just kind of go into like, so let's talk about when I hit you up, because obviously I have all these computers and I still need your help. Right. And going into the class we're actually going to be talking about today, maybe you can just give us some tips on, like, if you're just starting out, you're like me, because I still need the tips, besides obviously joining the class, what's something that I can start doing to make more money with crypto? And it doesn't have to be mining. It doesn't have to be, Kryptex. It could be, just join the class and start learning about whatever, right? What would you say?
Right. So that is one way, right? Join the class, because we're going to be providing a lot of value in there. I'm going to be going over some of the most I wouldn't say the most, if you're looking to make 1,000x gains on Doge, we're probably not the course for you, right? Like we're not going to be doing that sort of stuff because it's high risk, right? But like if you want to take the safe route, the easy road where you could start taking, maybe a couple $100 and start easing your way into the market, then that's what this course is for, really, right? But one of the ways that you can kind of increase your profits, there's a couple different ways. You can trade altcoins, but there's going to be some extra skills that you kind of need to start trading some altcoins. The other way is, obviously we've talked about the free videos. You can get I've gotten about $600 worth of free cryptocurrency just for signing up for Coinbase, right? I mean, you can watch videos in there. But one of the better, we like to diversify, right? A smart miner is going to diversify their portfolio. So I would say if you're not doing it already, making sure that you're signed up for a Coinbase account, connecting your bank account to it, and at least buying $10 or $20 additionally worth of Bitcoin. Maybe you start buying some Ethereum too as well. The people that have been starting doing this 2 to 3 months ago, they're already in profit because the prices are going up, right? So that would be another way. The other way that we're going to be kind of teaching, I'm not going to go into it a lot, but you could lend your cryptocurrency out, right? You could become a bank and create a loan, right? And loan it out at a high interest rate because believe it or not, there's a lot of tech startups, blockchain companies that need funding, right? And they want a short-term loan. The banks, guess what? If they go to the bank and say, hey, I need a loan for the next month, do you think that bank's going to give it to them? Hell no. It's too risky to that bank, right? Plus, it's a direct competitor of the bank. So why would the bank give a direct competitor a loan, right? Well, so you can kind of become the bank and lend your cryptocurrency out, which is another great way to do that. There's a couple other ways too.
So Dustin, I want to bring it back for a second because I'm kind of curious. So what is the reason why what was your aha moment when you're like, dude, why would I even try to make money with this in the first place? Like, what is something that kind of went through your head when you're like, I really want to make money with crypto, but there's all these different directions. And obviously, you had these different aha moments, but maybe like what's a recent one that you figured out and this is something that maybe other people could realize that they're not thinking about right now?
Well, I mean, the whole mining sector, there's so much bad propaganda. And if you ask 100 people, is cryptocurrency mining profitable? About 70% of those people are going to tell you, nope, it's not worth it. Don't get into this space, right? Same thing with the tax man. You ask 50 tax guys, how much do I owe on my taxes? You're probably going to get 50 different answers. But what I found out is that, this is probably I think it's the third bubble that we've went through with the cryptocurrency mining space. And when you dig back through, if you just take, is GPU mining dead? And you go stick that into the Google search bar and you adjust and go back to 2013. You know how you can sort the blog post by year? You'll see that GPU mining died in 2013, right? You'll see that it died again in 2017. And guess what? It's resurrected again. So like, you really do need to look at this as a long-term investment vehicle. And that's kind of, my aha moment with it. The other thing is that, it doesn't hurt to do a little bit of spec mining too. And we're going to be going into this in the course too as well. So there's going to be newer blockchain companies that come out, right? And when a blockchain company first comes out, there's not a lot of miners on the network. So if you connect your machine to that, right, you're going to get a much, much higher yield than if you were to mine something like Ethereum because there's so many miners on the network, right? And I'm trying to dumb this down in a very basic way, but like take Ravencoin for example. When it first came out, I started mining for a couple of months on it, mined like 10, 20,000 of those. And I just hung on to them for the next 4 years because they weren't worth a lot of money at the time, right? But I've held on to those, and that asset has gone up in value, and so I sold it for a hefty profit, right? But the real big aha moment that I had with cryptocurrency mining is, and after a while of being in the space, if you're just trading cryptocurrency, say you're not mining, you're just buying it, right? And you buy it and say you buy it at Ethereum at $3,000. And then next thing you know, it goes down to 2,500. you're extremely sad at that point. Even though we know that it's just going down to 500, a lot of people understand this. It's just how the market goes. It goes down to 2,500, and then you start thinking about selling, right? But as a miner, we don't really care what the market does. We're constantly making money. It doesn't matter. The market could go up, down, sideways, to the left, wherever. And Chase is still making $50 a day. So like mentally, you're stronger as a miner because you don't look at the markets as, oh no, I bought this coin at $5 and it went to $4, even though it could potentially bounce and go to $10, right? You're in control of this, right? So like if you want to increase your passive income, well, Chase knows all he's got to do is just go buy another computer and find another outlet and plug it in. But if you're just looking to buy like these speculative coins as a trader, and you're brand new, I mean, there's just so much, in my mind, there's a lot more knowledge that you have to have. And the other thing is you have to be emotionally stable to be a trader, right? It can make you mad. It'll drive you nuts if your portfolio is down $500. Guess what? How many hours is your program in total? It's going to be a 9-week course, right? So it's going to be probably about 12 hours, right? But that's kind of my point is after a while of mining, you'll notice if you're part of some of the trading groups, everybody will be like, oh no, crypto's going down, right? And it's just the Sunday cash out. But as us miners, we're like, well, I don't care. I'm still making $50 a day, right? So I don't know if that kind of makes sense, but in my mind, it's just a much more stable passive income versus just trying to buy Dogecoin and hope Elon pumps it 1,000%, right? Is it harder? Let's see here. We got some questions here. How about CPU mining? CPU mining, now that it is still a thing, right? Like, and the thing I want you guys to know, because you will read this, when Bitcoin was first invented in 2009, you could actually mine 50 Bitcoin a day on a laptop with just the CPU. You didn't even need a GPU, right? Nuts. But nobody knew that Bitcoin was going to be worth $55,000 at the time. It was a new invention. Everybody just looked at it as this weird thing that you used to buy drugs on Silk Road, right? That was the exposure that it got. But, CPU mining, there are still a few coins out there that you can CPU mine. And we will be getting into some of that stuff in the workshop and stuff. But that's kind of going back to my speculative mining, where CPU mining, when you're mining those coins, there's a good chance that it's not going to be very, very profitable in the immediate future. But I still do some CPU mining on the side, because what I'll do is I'll stack those coins up and I'll just hang on to them for 5 or 10 years. So maybe I'll give you an example. There's a coin called Lithium, right? And I CPU mined it on my laptop, and I mined like 26,000 of them. The project has wallets, has a great use case, great website. I think the dev team is great. And so I mined 26,000 of these. If that coin goes to $1, and it only took me like 3 months to mine 26,000 of these, right? But if that coin goes to $1, then I made $26,000 on my laptop in 3 months, right? So that's kind of the, yes, you can definitely participate in CPU mining, but you have to be more patient with it. So why overwork your expensive GPU when you can helium mine using a fraction of the power? Helium, I got mixed feelings about, right? So like, here's the deal with GPU mining. You can mine a wide spectrum of different cryptocurrencies. So if one cryptocurrency starts going down in price, guess what? You're GPU mining, so you can just switch to the next coin. With that Helium network, I do like the project. I do think that it has a chance of really taking off. But what happens to that Helium miner if that project fails, right? You can't take that Helium miner and go mine Ethereum with it. At that point, it's a paperweight. You have to throw it in the trash, right? But with the GPU, even if you don't want to mine anymore, you could still sell it to a gamer for profit, right? So that's kind of my thing with a lot of these unique situations, like, hard drive mining. There's only a few coins out there that you can mine with hard drives. So you're kind of limited, right? You don't have many options. And so for me personally, in my investments, I'm all about having as many options as I possibly can, because guess what? If one trick isn't working, I'm a GPU miner. I can flip to some other coin and try to make a profit somewhere else. So I'm not saying that helium's a bad project or anything like that, but just really look at, okay, this is the best case scenario, but what happens in the worst case scenario, right? What happens if that, what software do you use to mine on a laptop? That is a good question. Well, you can, if you're a beginner, you can just use Kryptex. And I think that Chase, do we have a link down in the description for that?
Yeah, I'll put it in there.
Sweet. Hey, you guys, Chase, can you make it dual screen again and give me 1 second? I got to let my dog out real quick. He's barking.
Sure. I don't recommend the Amazon gift card option as a payout, though. Been waiting 6 weeks so far. I've actually heard that. I did a TikTok on Kryptex, and somebody was saying that they asked for the Amazon gift card payout, and the same thing happened. But I don't honestly know why you wouldn't just go for PayPal as a payout method, because it seems like the quickest to me, unless you don't have a PayPal.
What about PayPal? Kryptex was good. I don't recommend Amazon gift option as a payout, though. I've been waiting for 6 weeks. Yeah, I would probably. The cool thing about Kryptex, though, is I can get paid in cash too. I do believe, like, I can cash it out through PayPal to fiat, and that's
what I was just saying.
Yeah, it's the only platform. You're not doing that on any of the other platforms. They are not going to convert it to fiat for you. Let's see. What's the cheapest way to save on fees when transferring? Do you recommend certain wallets and platforms? Yeah, stay the hell away from DeFi right now. Good God. The cheapest way to be able to avoid fees is to do it over the counter, OTC, where you can do like local Bitcoins. Because if you go to localbitcoins.com, I can almost guarantee you there's a lot of people in your area that are looking to buy Bitcoin peer-to-peer. It's kind of like Craigslist, but for Bitcoin, right? So you can meet up with people and exchange Bitcoin that way. The other way that I really like to do it is, get yourself a crypto debit card, which, by the way, I'm going to be doing a course on that too, how to cash out different debit cards. There's a few of them out there that I've tried, and let's put it this way. Just be careful with the crypto debit cards, because they make it way too easy to swipe that debit card for anything you want to buy. I mean, at that point, it's like Monopoly money. You're like, oh, I got Bitcoin. I'm buying this. I'm buying that, So just the debit cards can kind of hurt your profits some, just because it just makes it so easy to buy stuff with it. What else do we got? Is Qcoin reliable for loaning crypto? I don't know, Powblock. I've never have participated in lending on Qcoin, but I do use that exchange quite a bit for trading altcoins, but I've never done lending on that platform. I don't even know what the rates are, right? I know some of the other platforms I can get unknown. What's up, peeps? What's up? How can you mine other cryptocurrencies? Could you show us how to at least switch on Kryptex? So I think Kryptex,
so the way it works is you can only mine ETH because they choose the most profitable currency to mine with, and they automatically convert it to Bitcoin. But the cool thing about within Kryptex is you can actually switch the currency. So like if you want to go into your dashboard and trade your Bitcoin for whatever, they'll let you do that.
Right.
And I don't think they charge a fee or anything for that either.
Sweet. How to buy graphics 3080. Good luck. A 3080. Honestly, I would not buy a 3080 right now. And here's why. I bought some of them, and they're kind of a very finicky. The drivers just don't seem to work very well on them, and they do crash a lot. Now, the other thing is, you're not the only one that wants a 3080 right now. They're one of the more popular cards. So you're going to pay a lot more than MSRP for a 3080. I honestly, I would be going after the 2000 series. I would be trying to get my hands on, if you can find an RX 580, They're a little bit harder to overclock, but those are great cards, right?
The 1080 Ti's as well are going usually for pretty cheap, especially when you get them used. And they pay themselves off pretty fast.
That was one of the fastest mining cards of its kind back in 2017. Like, it was the best chipset you could get. And it doesn't mine as much as the 3090, but I can tell you this, my 1080 Ti will have a much more stable uptime than my 3090. My 3090 crashes at least once a day, right? So what do you think about the future of Dogecoin? It's going back to zero, bro. I mean, just look at the chart. You can see, if you zoom out and just look at a daily chart of Dogecoin,
here, I'll bring it up.
You can see clearly like where this is going to go, right? That's probably not the best one. I would go to TradingView for Doge or something. Oh,
look at that.
Yeah, it's back down. It's going to go down to zero, bro. Look at try the all time. Do all. Woo. You see, I mean, it's been flat for years since 2000. I mean, it's never seen a spike like this in recorded history. So, nothing against Elon. I like him a lot more than I do John McAfee. But John McAfee back in 2017 was notorious for talking about coins on Twitter and then pumping the prices. I'm talking projects that had no business even seeing a price surge, right? So I have a 5 Nitro laptop. Is it safe to mine with Kryptex in the laptop before I choose to create a rig? Okay. The thing about it, if the laptop has a GPU, you can mine on it. The thing that I would recommend is do not leave your laptop sitting on like carpet or a couch or something like that, right? Make sure it's sitting on a hard surface that you can circulate air, because if you start blocking the vents on that, it's going to get hot, right? And it's going to start running sluggish and all this other stuff. The other thing is if that does have a, what does it got in there? 1650 Ti. Yeah, you could mine with it. Just make sure that you clean it out. Make sure that it's dust free. Make sure that the fans work well, and make sure it's sitting on a hard surface too. And don't be gaming and trying. There should be a switch in Kryptex to only mine when it's idle, right, Chase? There should be a. Is there any settings in there that you can adjust? Can you pull that up real quick in your software? Should say mine when idle or something like that.
Yeah, I think it might be in the actual online interface, but
yeah, so there's a switch in there where, like, so say if Chase had that enabled where it says only mine when it's idle. So say Chase walks away from his computer for 15 minutes. The software will recognize that Chase has walked away from his computer and allow Kryptex to start mining again. Then say Chase goes back and it starts moving the mouse around again, right?
Yeah, here it is. When I'm on the computer.
Yeah.
Full mode. So, when I'm off the computer. It automatically does it, I think. You don't even have to set it up.
Right. And that's the best way I would suggest setting it up, just because I've seen a lot of people like, why is my computer running so slow? And it's like, well, are you still mining when you're trying to like surf the internet? They're like, I don't know. And then lo and behold, the damn thing's running. And that's why, because it's using a lot of your computer's resources. I know, that brings me kind of my next subject too. A lot of people think, well, isn't this going to damage my computer? My answer to this is no. Mining cryptocurrencies is actually probably no different than gaming on your computer. So if you're already gaming on it, you're already abusing that GPU. So it's really no different. If anything, mining can be safer than gaming, because in gaming, you're revving that GPU's temperature up and down, right? So there's fluctuation in the heat. It's expanding and contracting, and it can weaken the solder joints on the card. But with mining, you're just constantly at a certain temperature, so it's more stable, right? That card's not heating up and cooling down as much. So in the long run, from a longevity perspective, there's been some studies on this, and a lot of people will suggest that mining cryptocurrencies, you can actually get more lifespan out of it versus like somebody that's just a gamer that's gaming with it every day,
Actually, I noticed that when I'd be gaming, my GPU was way hotter than when I just run it. But I'm also I'm using the Afterburner software that I can crank up the fan so the CPU, the chip in there isn't getting crazy hot.
And everybody oh, you run your fans at 100%, and yes, I like to run my fans at 100%. And everybody's like, well, you must like burning out your fans. Well, I would much rather burn out a $13 fan that I can replace from eBay versus trying to, risk, overheating that GPU. Let's see what he's got here. I gamed while mining, and I saw over time decrease in overall performance. Any fix, or is it like that for? Saw over time decrease in overall performance. Any fix, or is it like that forever? It shouldn't. If he just quits gaming on it, the performance should start to go back up, right? But if you're over there on Google, Facebook, streaming and doing all this other stuff on that computer, then the hash rate will go down significantly.
Somebody wanted to know about SafeMoon.
Yeah, how about SafeMoon, tech for beginners? I don't understand the project. Now, here's the deal. Could you probably make money on SafeMoon? Absolutely, you probably could. But it's a lottery ticket at best, in my opinion, and you shouldn't invest more than 20 to 50 bucks into it. If it goes to the moon, great. But what I have to constantly defend myself on, and I'll give you an example for my family, right? My brother wanted to get into cryptocurrency, and he's got $10,000 to invest that he saved up, right? My brother works hard. I mean, he has a very hard job. And I told him, I was like, listen, start only buying little bits of this cryptocurrency, 20, 30 bucks a week. So Ethereum was like 2,500 bucks at the time. He wanted to stick $5,000 into it all in one shot. And I said, no, don't do that, right? Break it up into small increments. Well, then it went to $4,000, and he calls me back. He's like, see, I could have stuck all my money in there and I could have doubled my money. And he starts yelling at me. And I said, yeah, and you could have stuck all your money in there and it went to zero, or it went down in price, and you would have been out all your hard-earned money. I said, I would rather play it safe than play it risky. And so with that said, SafeMoon, it's a very speculative, in my opinion, high-risk asset. Not saying you can't make money on it, just like Dogecoin, but don't bet the farm on it. The other thing is that you need to be careful about is I've heard rumors of people being charged a 40% fee just to cash out. That's why they call it SafeMoon, is because they penalize you for cashing it out. Well, what's the use case in that? There's no, okay, you're going to call it SafeMoon and you're going to penalize people for selling, and that's it? Like, how does that work? So, like, it's got a cool name, that's trending on Twitter. So that's really about, in my opinion, all it's got really going for it at this moment. Do you need to have MSI to download MSI, or is it the site? No, you could just download. You should be able to download MSI Afterburner. If you just type in MSI Afterburner and go straight to, what's this? The stats for SafeMoon. See, and it could pump some more from here, but good grief, man. I don't want to tell anybody to buy it and then it goes crashing down because they get some kind of weird hack or something like that. Furthermore, I've heard that it's very difficult to buy it. So, like, that's another thing too. If it's difficult to buy it, then it's going to be difficult to sell it too as well. So you got to think about your exit strategy. A lot of people will get into a coin, and next thing you know, they're up $9,000, but then they go to cash out and they only ended up with like $1,000, right? He said it's a hold only 10% is outrageous, right? Don't know much about it, Deadwood. I wish I did, honestly. When I've been in chats with some of the people from SafeMoon, I just kind of rolled my eyes. To the rest of the whole, yes, but yes, I do get that, but that almost sounds like an MLM Ponzi scheme at this point. You know what I mean? Oh, it goes to the holders above me, and so then it creates this ecosystem. And I will say they did pass the Surtech audit, but there's questions about that too as well that I've been reading about too as well. But let's put it this way: if you're in SafeMoon, my hat's off to you. But I just don't want to see people doing mental gymnastics trying to defend that coin, right? Like, let's just call it what it is. It's speculation at this point. You know, I like to keep, I do some speculative investing, but it's a very, very small amount, and I do not count on it. It does not get me as excited as some of these people on social media. I like to stick with what I know: Bitcoin, Ethereum, projects like Chainlink. Chainlink is going to be the future of blockchain. I truly believe that. Polkadot. You know, what else? There's Theta. You know, that's another good one. But those assets do cost a little bit more. So people are less likely to buy them because they're like, well, why would I buy Chainlink at $45 when I can buy SafeMoon at, you know, a tenth of a penny or something, right? Right? It's not even a penny. It's like 93. I don't even know what the hell that is, you know? So, but my hat's off to you. If you do make money on it, it is a game of risk. See, and that's my point, Steven. As long as you understand that it's a game of risk and you know the game that you're playing, I can respect that, right? But it's these people out here that say it's going to be the next Bitcoin that we need to stop dead in their tracks, right? Because they're going to, there's so many new people getting into this space. They read this stuff on social media, and then they contact me and say, hey, I bought SafeMoon. What do you think? And I'm just like, well, why did you buy it? I don't know. I seen it on social media. And I'm like, okay. And did you do any research? No. Have you been in cryptocurrency before? No. And so they're just buying it, right? Most profitable miner right now. Ooh. Let's go to, can you type in what to mine? With 2 T's. All right. So we can go to what to mine. You can click on the GPU tab on the far right. And this is a tool that is a mining calculator. Now, we are developing our own mining calculator, but you can see right there at the top, the NVIDIA 3090 is one of the, damn, that thing is making $28 a day. I need to plug mine in. I actually have one just sitting right here in the box, you know? I need to do something with this thing. It's a 3090. But you can see that's the list of the most profitable GPUs, right? In order, right? And it'll tell you on the right what's the most profitable coin to mine. Guess what? Ethereum. And you probably, you know, one of the things that I've learned over the years is just stick with Ethereum mining. I know it's going to switch to POS at some point, but for right now, it's the most profitable coin to mine for about most of the hardware out there, right? So you can use that, and then you can click on the individual GPUs, and it'll give you more coins that it can mine in order of profitability. So you can see Ethereum, then you got NiceHash, which is Ethereum, and then some of these other coins down below, like I really like Zelcore too. Raven coins at the bottom, Ethereum Classic. And then if you go to miners, actually, there's a new tab. So ASIC miners are different than graphics cards. There's different levels of mining. You got GPU mining, which involves graphics cards, and then you got ASIC mining, which stands for application-specific integrated circuit miners. And these are pre-manufactured over in China. And they're application-specific, meaning that when you buy one of these miners, you will not be surfing the internet like you can with the GPU mining rig. They run on usually like a Linux software, and they're designed for one thing and one thing only. Like if you buy a SHA-256 Bitcoin miner, the only thing that machine can do is mine Bitcoin, right? And they do use a lot of electricity, but you can see right there that InnoSilicon A1 Ethereum miner makes what, $509 a day or some ridiculous, but they're going to be selling that miner for like $20,000, right?
Wow.
But that thing is nuts. They are hot. They are loud. This is not a machine that you're going to want to plug in your living room and expect your wife to be happy about, right? Like great in the winter time because it cranks out a lot of heat, but I need 6 of them. You and me both, buddy. I'd take 6 of them too, right? Just started mining with Kryptex with my desktop with a GTX 30. Yet my hash rate is 106. I used overclocking after any idea to boost it up. You know, you got to keep on playing around, Albert. Like I said, I'm going to be doing some overclocking, consulting with Chase, but I'm going to be creating some evergreen content around overclocking to just kind of show you guys how you can go about it, because there's certain ways that you can adjust the clocks and stuff like that.
And if you want, by the way, because we want to do more of these live streams, so if you're interested in seeing like one of those consults where Dusty kind of takes us through doing an overclock on the GPUs, let us know. Leave a 1 in the chat or in the comments if you're watching this later, because we'd love to know.
Absolutely. $251. Don't forget the ETH pill if you're on. Yes, the ETH pill, Deadwood. You're right. Chase, he laughed the first time. Are you running the enlargement pill on this?
I always forget to. I need to.
Yeah, turn on the enlargement. Well, you're not mining right now anyways, I don't think.
I am actually.
You are. Yeah, fire up that enlargement pill real quick and see if the hash rate goes up. Let's hope you don't crash.
I gotta find it somewhere in the archives. Might just have to download it again. Might be easier to do it that way.
While Chase is finding that, the other thing that I feel like the Papa Smurf of crypto sometimes, because I talk about these things, but you guys be careful out there. There's going to be people that privately message you on Facebook talking about, oh, here's my account manager, or have you heard of binary options, or hey, if you send me 1 Ethereum, I'll send you 20 Ethereum back, right? Those are scams designed to steal your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, and stuff like that. The cryptocurrency space is a wonderful space. It is a great vehicle to make money, but that goes without saying. There is scams in cryptocurrency, so you really, really need to be careful who you're communicating with. Another thing is that if people find out you're into cryptocurrency, they'll start sending you random links to stuff that they think you like, and they'll try to get you to click on that link. Do not be clicking on any links. I'll give you an example. My buddy's Facebook got hacked 2 weeks ago, and then he sent somebody got into his account and sent me a DM on his behalf saying, hey, check out this video. And he's never messaged me before, but they sent me a link. And what they were trying to do is to get me to click on that link, and they can actually phish you at that point, steal all your passwords. So if you do click on a random link, change all your passwords. Just be careful out there, guys.
It's funny. The one I've been seeing is somebody will send me a message, be like, hey, did you say this on Facebook? And they'll send me a link to like Facebook, but it's some fake Facebook that you log in and they get your password.
Yeah. So look at this. Chase, you're already up to what, 33? Can you blow that up some on Kryptex?
Let's see.
Let's go.
33. We can bring open the afterburner.
Uh-oh, here we go. We got the afterburner. Okay, let's see here. What do you got on afterburner? You got a so you don't even have this overclock. So you see right there where it has the windows at the top right. Make sure that window icon is checked first. And so what that's going to do is these overclock settings that we're about to do will be reapplied on startup. So if you reboot the machine, it'll reapply those overclock settings. So right here on the core clock, let's try actually, you know what? Let's go to the memory. Just skip the core clock for right now. Let's try 400. And then your fans, go click on your fans, and let's go ahead and speed those up some to 75, somewhere in there, and then hit the check mark. And then what you want to do is you want to start with the mem clock first, and anywhere between, if you got some of the older cards like the 10 series, the 2000 series, you want to start somewhere around about 400. Let it run for a little bit. If it runs good, maybe bump the mem clock up to 425 and do it in increments of 25. So basically, you want to push this thing till it starts throwing out bad shares. It starts artifacting. You'll notice because the screen will start glitching out a little bit, and then you want to back it down from there because you've got too much of an overclock. So let's try 450, Chase. It looks like it's going up some. And so you kind of want to run these tests, right? We're just trying to get to an improved hash rate, but then to really know, doesn't it implement the pill, then start the miner? It doesn't matter. You can fire up the miner and then fire up the ETH enlargement pill afterwards. if that's what you're asking. Try that real quick, Chase, on the core clock. Let's go back to the core clock and let's try to bump it down to negative 200. It seems to be a good starting spot for the. Now, you guys also keep in mind, if you're mining a different coin, say you're mining with a 1080 Ti, but you're mining like something like Raven coin, that runs on a totally separate algorithm than what Ethereum does. And so the overclocks will be slightly different. So, and the other thing is, does ETH pill work for 27? No, it doesn't, Steven. The ETH pill only works for 1080s and 1080 Ti's. I'm sorry. If you really want it that bad, you'll have to reach out to the lady that developed this software on Twitter and nag the shit out of her to redo it. Where are we at, Chase? 30. So that was bad.
Yeah, we went down a little bit.
I would try like 100 then, I guess, on the
negative or positive.
Positive. Try 100. We'll go the other way. Some of the cards, I don't get it. I see a lot of people on YouTube doing like negative 500 on the core clock, and they're getting there we go, 36. So you could probably, let's go to 500 on that mem clock, right? Your temps look better too. So you're at 70 degrees Celsius. You can turn the fan up a little bit more. I like to keep mine as cool as I can, but if the fan gets too loud and it's annoying, I can understand why you'd keep it lower. And on your temps, you guys, you want to make sure that your temps don't go over 65 degrees Celsius. 70 is about the max. If you do hit that threshold, shut your machine off, clean out your graphics card, clean out your machine, and look at turning your fans up or checking your fans, because sometimes fans do go bad, right? Because it will start thermal throttling. Let's do 550 real quick and see where that goes. In some of these 1080 Ti's, go ahead and hit the check mark, Chase. Oh, wait a minute. We don't the power limit. All right, so so now we've adjusted the clocks, right? We've adjusted the core clock and the mem clock, but there's another setting on there for Chase called the power limit. So the core clock and the mem clock are what increase the clock speeds of the GPU to make the hash rate higher. Now we can kind of undervolt this card so that it maintains a similar hash rate but consumes less power, if that makes sense. So you can see right there in Chase's screen on Kryptex, it says this card is burning about 203 watts, but you'll notice when we go to adjust the power that we're going to lower that wattage some. So bump it down to 70 on the power limit, Chase. So what we're doing here is we're making it more efficient. For whatever reason, I undervolted my 27 just by 3% and dropped the core to 13, up mem clock by 200, and it gives me about 40 hash rate. That's probably about normal for a 2070, to be honest, which is around 40. And guys, don't get, if you see somebody, like say you got a 2070, because I see this a lot, maybe you got a 2070, right? And you're at 40 mega hashes, just like Steven mentioned, and you see somebody on YouTube getting 43 mega hashes, right? And you're hell bent on getting 43 mega hashes out of your card just because you've seen somebody on YouTube or Reddit do it. It's not always about the highest hash rate, right? What I've found over the years that it's better to have a slightly lesser hash rate and make the card more stable, because what I found is you'll actually submit more shares to the pool and make more money that way. So you can see right here, it did. So we lowered it down to your wattage down to 175. Chase, let's try and bump that core clock up to 125 real quick. Let's see core clock, and then bump the mem clock up to 600, and then hit apply, and let's see where she goes. So we dropped it probably about 30 watts. And so what you'll want to do, Chase, here is you'll probably want to let this run overnight. Make sure that it's stable. Make sure it doesn't crash. Make sure that it's getting you a lot of good shares. I don't know if Kryptex reports invalid shares or not, but and that's the other thing too. Make sure you hit that. If you hit that disc in the middle at the bottom first, and then it should make that flash, and then you hit 1, right? And it'll save this overclock setting to that profile. And so like you could do number 1 is your Ethereum overclock settings, and maybe number 2, you set a profile for mining Raven coin, right? Let's see here. But what you're going to want to do, Chase, is run it for probably 12 hours and then bump it up to 625, right? Let it run for another 12 hours and just keep increasing it until that system crashes, and then you'll know where the threshold is and then back it down. My regular 1080 right now, 35 with pill, 22S Burt. That's about spot on. I mean, these 1080 Ti's, you know, sometimes they'll do. I wonder if Burke is he mining on Kryptex? Burke, can you tell us in the comments if you're mining on Kryptex or what software you're using? New to mining. Why is Kryptex choice over NiceHash? Well, I mean, you can go the NiceHash route, and I'm certainly not morally opposed to it. But, you know, the thing with NiceHash is they did have a hack back in 2017 where they had almost, I think it was like 7,000 Bitcoin of miners' money get hacked. Come to find out, the CEO of NiceHash at the time was involved with a lot of money laundering and scams. So there's a lot of speculation whether that CEO stole that 7,000 Bitcoin. Now, I will say that NiceHash did pay everybody back. The first hack that actually everybody got their money back in crypto, but it's just preference of choice, really. NiceHash is great, but sometimes it's more profitable to use other mining software over NiceHash. And you ask a lot of the OG miners, they're just not a huge fan of NiceHash's platform because of that hack. Let's see what he got here. My RX 588 gig is about 27 megahertz. Oh can I get any higher, you think? Hell yeah, you can. You could probably get that card to 30 mega hashes. But again, you're mining on an AMD card, so you're going to need to adjust the BIOS and straps. And depending on what kind of memory you have in it. I will say AMD cards, they are a bit more. Look at Albert.
Oh, so I was trying to do it at the same time you were.
Yeah, up to 119 mega hashes with tweaks and afterburn. Let's see if it's stable. Hell yeah, buddy. What's your Albert? What's your wattage on that, buddy? Are you about 230 watts? This is crazy, man. My 3090 sitting in the box. I could be making $30 a day right now. Are you freaking kidding me?
So good.
Anyways, what do you guys think of this? Is this pretty cool or what? Did you guys get a lot of value out of this? Put a, how do they say it, Chase? Put a one in the comments.
Put a 1 in the chat.
Put a 1 in the chat if you guys like this. We'll do some more of this stuff.
If you want to see more live streams like this.
Heck yeah. What do I think about Pirate Chain? Matey. They have one of the best privacy protocols out there. Pirate Chain does. But I don't know. Privacy coins, I don't know if they'll take off because the government don't really like privacy coins. I don't know if you were aware of this or not, but they don't want you buying anonymous cryptocurrencies that they can't track, right? Only they can do that, right? So that's what I think about Pirate Chain. But yeah, man, I'm on NiceHash now using Inno3 1080 Ti with quick miner optimized medium settings. I'm able to get 42.5. Nice, Edmund. Nice. You know, and that's the thing, you know, different. Not all 1080 Ti's are going to be the same, right? Some of the chipsets are going to mine at a lesser hash rate. Some of them are going to mine at a higher hash rate. And that is what we call the silicon lottery, right? It's kind of like a box of chocolates. You're not going to know what you're going to get until you get your hands on it, right? So
jumping up.
It is moving on up.
Almost at 37.
That core clock is a bit high, but I would try to bump it to 625 on the mem at this point.
I want to ask everybody who's planning on joining our class. We got a class today in just a couple hours. It starts in about 2 hours. Did I lose you?
Who, me?
Oh, I thought the computer bricked.
No, I just realized we got class in a couple hours, man.
Yeah. So if you
I'm gonna
guys want
have
to
to get
in
going.
there,
I can't sit here on YouTube all day. As much
if
as
you guys
I'd love
want to get
hang
in
out
there, we're going to do a live Zoom class that you guys can join. I'll leave a link in the chat. And Dustin will actually he's going to be going in there and giving you all the stuff that he can't share on here, because there's some stuff that we got to keep in the group.
There's a lot of information that I wish I would have had when I first got into cryptocurrency. And so like, that's kind of my biggest thing that I can offer people is just my personal experience. Right. And, if I can save somebody from making a $10,000 mistake, if I can just save one person from doing that, from all the mistakes that I've made, then it's worth it. Right. And there's a lot of information about cryptocurrencies out there. And the thing that I've found out is over 95% of that information is very misleading or confusing to kind of interpret. So, kind of my goal with all of this stuff, with even, the Facebook group and, the brand that I have, the website, is to just take something that sounds so complicated and break it down to the point where the vast public can understand it and say, oh, okay, this isn't that complicated. This makes sense, right? Because there's a lot of people out there that they don't even know what the hell a Bitcoin is, right? And so we want to help those are the type of people that we want to help the most, right? We want to educate those people and show them a way that they can get into the market safely with, and understand what they're doing, right? There's a lot of people out there that are just getting into the space and they're just doing what their friends told them to do, which is buy Dogecoin, right? Which if you did do that, it probably sucks for you right now, right? So it's just stuff like that we kind of want to help people out, as much as we can and just educate them. Can I mine Bitcoin off my Game Boy? No, but you can play Tetris on it for sure. I have a hard time using third party to compile mining tools into all one stack as stack fees to pull miner both. I don't even understand what Deadwood's saying. I have a hard time. What do you think about Shiba Inu? Shiba Inu. Again, it's another lottery ticket. Honestly, I feel like it's better than SafeMoon, but I think it just got listed on Binance. So yeah, man. You can definitely make tons of money with low cap gems, but you really do need to understand that game that you're playing. And so, like, I do have some recipes, some templates that I'm going to be working on trying to automate, where you can take a list of 7,000 cryptocurrencies, stick it into my proprietary spreadsheet, and it's going to highlight the ones that you should research in green, right? So we're going to be trying to work on taking what's up here and quantifying it into a spreadsheet, so then you guys can just kind of, get my strategy in a template for researching cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. So, and I try to refrain from telling people what to do. All I can do is just share what I'm doing, right? Like, I don't want to shill or anything like that. So, well, Chase, what do you think, man?
I think it was good. I think we covered what we needed to cover today. Again, if you want to see more stuff like this in the future, if you want to see the live stream content, we're thinking about, doing more of this. So make sure you leave a like so we know to do more of this type of content. And again, get into the class. It's only $1 to try it out for 7 days. If you hate it, we'll give you your $1 back. You can't really lose. And so Dustin's going to be on in a couple hours. We're going to be doing Zoom calls, and you get access to him and a bunch of other people in the group that are, looking to not just learn, how to make money, but just go through the basics on how do you get set up? How do you up your hash rates? How do you, start trading? All these things. And, it's just a good place to be. And so if you want to try it out, go to the link in the description, get it for $1, check it out. And again, if you hate it, just let us know. We'll give it back to you.
Well, and the one thing I want to kind of preface to people too is there's a lot of other great information being shared in that Facebook group. You don't have to partake into it, but there is literally so much extra additional value about making money and stuff like that, that if you can't take one of those strategies and make your money back, then I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? At that point, but there's just a ton of value about, and I think that, people just want to, they want to they want to learn new ways about making money and stuff. So it's more than just cryptocurrency in there, right, Chase?
Oh yeah. And I mean, somebody just asked, do you record the sessions? We already have like 25 videos in there. A couple of which are ones that we did with Dustin already. And yeah, I mean, it's all about just starting an online business to make money, whether you're mining crypto, whether you're looking to, sell a service, whatever you're trying to do. We have a bunch of experts and we have classes Monday through Friday, every single day that you can join. So you can start making passive income and, go out and do stuff while the computers are working for you. I mean, that's the whole point of this. It's not just about, crypto. It's about, hey, can we set something up that passively generates us income every single day so we can spend more time doing what we want to do? I remember a little while ago, about 2 years ago, I was doing a job for somebody and I was like, dude, I hate working for other people. I don't want to have to constantly answer to other people. And how many of us can relate to that, right? Like having to get on the phone with your boss, or even if you have a client, getting on the phone with your client, being like, dude, I don't want to do this. So
right.
getting into this stuff really gives you the ability to start creating freedom where, you don't have to sit on the phone with people, or you don't have to show up to a job and answer other people. And you can see here, like if you could even just do a little bit of this, start making some money, even if it's a couple, 10 or 11 bucks a day, it starts to add up. We have money coming in from all these different streams of income right now. I'll actually show you, I just made about $8,000 in 7 days, just promoting somebody else's products. And, it's not rocket science. You don't have to spend a bunch of time learning this. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to own a website. You don't even really have to, spend a bunch of time, working on this stuff. A lot of it is pretty plug and play. People like Dustin and I and all the other people in the group, we've already set this stuff up for you. So you go in and, you start making money with the work that we've already done. Let me just show you this really quick. I'll show you.
And the reason why I wanted to mention this to you guys is because remember when I was talking about diversifying your portfolio? And it goes beyond cryptocurrency, right? Like you don't want to put all your eggs in just one basket. Like I'm looking to do, automate ways to make money through marketing online, cryptocurrency, real estate, stuff like that, right? Like I want to get into a lot of different assets, right? That are going to make me a passive income. The point of that group is it goes beyond just cryptocurrency. Like there's other stuff. If you want to learn some other stuff, online marketing and stuff like that, we got some of the best people in the freaking planet in there just dropping bombs of information in there, man. I'm talking like crazy, just the latest and greatest and stuff like that. So like you could totally probably at the end of that, of some of these tradings, you could probably figure out an automated way to generate Bitcoin every single day. And this is, Kryptex is just one of them, right?
Yep. It's about diversifying. I mean, it's like when you get into crypto, it's a lot of people, they start out with Bitcoin, but then they start going to all the other coins. They go try this out and try that out because they want to figure out different things that work. And it's kind of the same way with this. It's like, at a certain point you want to figure out, well, I'm making money with crypto, but what else can I make money with?
Right.
For me personally, I like setting up robots that go and talk to people, and I use AI to go and, create relationships for me online because I don't have all day to spend on social media. It doesn't make sense for me. And so that's something that you could literally run also while you're doing crypto. I mean, there's all these opportunities, and that's kind of what that group's for, is opening up your eyes to all the different opportunities, new opportunities, trending things that people are getting into right now that's blowing up. And, why not? Like, why not try to find out what's going to work and find new ways? So I don't know. That's my opinion. I know a lot of people, they think, well, maybe, a group isn't for me, or, courses aren't for me. But I feel like, if you're not going to invest in yourself, chances are nobody else is, right? I mean, somebody might give you some opinions, but you gotta sometimes just take the leap and figure out, hey, how can I improve myself? I'm constantly going and joining new things. I pay people who I don't even think, know more than me, but I do it anyways, just because I want to figure out what they're doing. I want to get in their head and see like what's working for them. Right. So I think it's just important to kind of find a group of people that are doing what you want to do, and just follow them, you know?
Exactly. It's all about, exposing yourself to different ways to making money. And, I'm a true believer. Like, how do you know you like something until you try it? Right. Like, that's kind of the reason why I got into marketing, because I wanted to try it. Right. I never tried it before. I was curious about it. And, 5 years later, I'm freaking engulfed in it. Right. Somebody was mentioning T-Fuel. I'm doing well with a bag of Hoge. Oh my God. They got Hoge now. I bought 1,500. Oh, he misspelled Doge. 50. Oh yeah. That was the time to buy it, Deadwood. That was the time to buy Doge, was back when it was, less promising, less popular, and all that other stuff. So, well, Chase, what do you think, man?
Yeah, let's head out. But thank you guys for being here, and hopefully we'll see you all very soon.
All right, we'll see you guys later.